Hello and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am showcasing a really strong Master League Classic team that I have used before in success. The team is Dragonite, Rhyperior, and Mewtwo. Dragonite is a great lead, as you only have to swap out of Steel and Fairy leads. Having Rhyperior means you can hard punish all those Dialga safe swaps and come out with enough energy for 2 Surfs and almost 2 Rock Wreckers / Stone Edges, and Mewtwo is a great safe swap that can almost always get shield advantage. I went on a 17-3 streak and climbed up to the 2,450s. First, I will be showing the team's overview, strategies to keep in mind while using it, and how to play out the most common leads. Before I get into the video, I just want to advertise this channel's Discord server. I highly recommend joining it, as it gives a chance for you to participate in Silph tournaments, a place to ask questions or discuss about Pokemon Go PvP to me or other great battlers, raid resources, IV and PvP rank checkers, a place where you can see my lines before they get uploaded onto YouTube, and much, much more. Dragonite, being a dragon and flying type, takes care of the Giratinas, Groudon, Kyogre, and Ho-Oh, while losing to Steel and Fairy types. After farming down a Pokemon, it can threaten shields to any Pokemon that doesn't resist Dragon with Draco Meteor. Mewtwo is an amazing safe swap, whose main goal is to get shield advantage. With Focus Blast, it has coverage against Steel types, Dragonite's main weakness, and with the combination of the huge damage of Psystrike, Mewtwo can get shields from almost any Pokemon. Rhyperior's main job is the Steel cleanup crew. With 2 shields and an extra Mudslap's worth of energy, it can take out Dialga and Melmetal, farming down the Dialga and unloading all the energy on the one-shielded Melmetal. I use Rhyperior instead of a Pokemon like Groudon or Melmetal because it can completely farm down a Dialga shielding once and have energy that can threaten any Pokemon. Against a Steel-type lead, the strategy is to swap to Mewtwo and get a shield against what comes in, usually a Giratina, farm it down with Dragonite, swap into my Rhyperior and either sweep, get the remaining Pokemon low, or get the last shield, enabling Dragonite to clean up. Against Groudon on the lead, stay in. If it's a Dragon Tail Groudon, don't shield any move and build up to 2 Dragon Claws, throwing them back to back. You can usually get shield advantage with this or take back switch advantage. Against Melmetal in the lead, swap to Mewtwo. Remember to save a shield for Rhyperior, as superpower still hurts. Against Giratina Origin in the lead, stay in. If there stay in, as well, shield the first move, which is usually Shadow Ball, to preserve the Dragonite, since it is a tell that they have something else weak to Dragonite in the back, which is usually a Groudon. Against Dialga in the lead, swap to Mewtwo. Remember to save a shield for Rhyperior, just like Melmetal lead, because Iron Head, you need a shield for that, or else it will deal a lot of damage. Against Ho-Oh on the lead, stay in. Never shield the first move, and always throw Dragon Claw after their move. If it is Earthquake, shield the next move. If it is Brave Bird, throw Dragon Claws and you will survive as long as your Dragonite is 4-starred, or 15-15-15. Against Dragonite on the lead, play out the mirror, unless your Dragonite is under-leveled against the opposing Dragonite, in which I recommend to swap to Mewtwo after storing the Dragon Claw. Against Mewtwo on the lead, tank the first Psystrike and go for Dragon Claw. If they shield, shield in kind and go for another Dragon Claw. If they don't shield, catch the Psystrike on your own Mewtwo. It takes 5 Saku Cuts for a Mewtwo to get to Psystrike. Against Palkia on the lead, stay in. Same thing with Zekrom on the lead. Against Lugia on the lead, sacrifice the Dragonite and come in with Rhyperior. I usually go straight for a Draco Meteor, either getting a shield or taking out the Lugia. Mewtwo cannot face Lugia, as against Lugia, Psystrike Focus Blast Mewtwo is absolutely walled. Against Kyogre on the lead, stay in. Against Togekiss on the lead, swap to Mewtwo. Against a Dragon Tail Garchomp on the lead, which is getting much more common these days, throw Dragon Claw and swap to Mewtwo. Against Excadrill on the lead, stay in. Play the 2-shield scenario going straight Dragon Claw. In the first match, my opponent leads Dialga. Horrible lead. I'm going to swap to Mewtwo right away. I'm immediately met with a response of Giratina Origin. However, this is actually not as bad of a matchup as everyone thinks, because I can get a shield with either baiting out the Shadow Ball or Ice Beam, and with two Side Strikes will KO the Giratina. I'm hoping this is just an Almost Wind, which it is, and I can survive and go for another Side Strike. That way, it puts the Giratina Origin in farming down range for my Dragonite, and I have a shield advantage. So things are looking pretty okay right now. I can easily tank the Shadow Ball, and I farm down the Giratina with enough energy for a Dragon Claw. When the Dialga comes back in, I'm going to throw this Dragon Claw as it's nice chip damage. And then I swap into my Rhyperior. I'm met with a Mewtwo. So, Mewtwo's Side Strikes deal a lot of damage, and will put my Rhyperior too low to deal any good damage with Mud Slaps against the Dialga, as they could Dragon Breath me down. So, unfortunately, I have to spend both shields in this matchup, meaning I will have to catch the opposing Dialga's Iron Head onto my Dragonite. I'm keeping in mind the energy that the opposing Dialga had, and getting ready for a sack swap. And I swap at the perfect time, successfully catching the Iron Head from the Dialga. My opponent realizes this, and I think force closed the app or quit the game, because the Iron Head damage did not register and they stop attacking. I realized this and farmed down the Dialga. Good game. In the second match, my opponent leads Excadrill. So, Dragonite can win against Excadrill in the two shields, and can usually grab a shield building up to Hurricane or Outrage. So I do build up to the Hurricane/Outrage, and throw Dragon Claw. This does get the shield, and I know can take this Rock Slide, but it does put me low. My opponent tries to quickly take out my Dragonite with a quick swap to the Dialga, but I'm able to swap out and keep my Dragonite alive and align my Rhyperior onto this Dialga. I will have to shield the Iron Head from the Dialga, but that means that I will have enough energy to take out the Excadrill if it comes back in, and a Giratina Origin actually comes in. Which is okay, because I can go for Stone Edge, which will deal about 50% of the Giratina's HP, while this one will probably get the shield, but actually doesn't, and they just barely survive and throw an Ominous Wind. And they actually get the boost, which is okay, because the Giratina Origin is so low, I can just take it out in one Dragon Breath with my Dragonite. I throw a Dragon Claw, which gets the shield from the Excadrill, and my opponent must have misread my energy, and I'm able to throw another Dragon Claw, which is really, really nice. This means that the game is pretty much over, because my Mewtwo can survive one drill run, and I can just farm it down with Psycho Cut. Good game. In the third match, my opponent leads Giratina Origin. They immediately swap into a Mamoswine. So this is it's kind of neutral matchup for Mewtwo, and unfortunately I gave my opponent an energy advantage, but I do outpace the Mamoswine to the move. I'm going to throw another Side Strike, which gets another shield, and I shield this Avalanche as well. And I throw the Side Strike, which will most likely take out the Mamoswine. It does. Now I'm thinking that this is Steel type in the back, so I'm trying to store up to a Focus Blast, but I realized I cannot, so I'm going to quickly swap into my Dragonite, trying to bait out the Steel type. And if it's Dialga, if they don't throw a move on their Giratina Origin, I can go for Draco Meteor. However, it's a Melmetal. I'm trying to go for the Draco Meteor, but they throw Rock Slide immediately. And unfortunately, my Mewtwo is too low to get to a Focus Blast, so it was kind of a questionable play by me. However, I can come in with my Rhyperior. And if they throw double Superpower, I can barely survive and go for another move, taking out the Melmetal, since I resist the Thunder Shocks. I'm able to do this because by throwing Superpower, the Melmetal's attack is lowered. And I really should have thrown... oh, actually, no, that's a different game. And so I throw the Stone Edge against the Giratina Origin. And I know that Mewtwo wins CMP against Giratina Origin. But take a look here. I'm tapping on the Psy Strike, but my opponent Shadow Claws me down. So I'm tapping, and then the Psy Strike tap does not register. And the infamous Pokeball Circle loading screen at the top left appears. So really, really unfortunate, however well played by my opponent. In the fourth match, my opponent leads another Excadrill. So I'm going to play out the 2 shield scenario here. This time I do not shield the first Rock Slide. And I build up to the Hurricane or Outrage and throw a Dragon Claw. It does get the shield, just like last time. And I will shield this Rock Slide. I throw the Dragon Claw here, however my opponent probably knows that this is just a Dragon Claw, and they don't shield. But I can shield again and completely farm down this Excadrill. Out comes a Togekiss. So I don't want to swap out because, although I could have and gotten a shield and perhaps gotten to a Stone Edge on my Rhyperior endgame, and I align my Mewtwo to this Togekiss. I throw a Psy Strike at the Togekiss, and it actually does get a shield, and out comes a Melmetal. I store a Psy Strike and I swap into my Rhyperior. They go for Superpower, but I know that I can survive 2 Superpowers. Now, I really should have thrown a move here, but I miscounted my opponent's energy, and they're able to take out my Rhyperior. However, I guess it's okay because the Togekiss doesn't get enough farm to get to a Flamethrower against my Mewtwo, and I can double up on Psy Strikes and take out the Melmetal with the first one, and go for another Psy Strike onto this Togekiss. Unfortunately, it does not KO, and my opponent gets to a move, but it's just an Ancient Power and I can survive, and I'm able to take out the Togekiss with Psychic Guts. Good game. In the last match, my opponent leads Melmetal. I swap into Mewtwo right away, and I met with a response into Giratina Origin. However, my opponent was a bit slow on the swap, so I think that I can regain switch advantage here or get both shields, especially now that I got a Psycho Cut through. So I actually do shield, even though it's just an Omnis win. And I throw another Psy Strike. I'm confident that I can get to another one, and I do, which is really nice. I'm hoping this was a CMP tie, so the opposing Giratina Origin doesn't get much more farm, but it isn't. Thankfully, they do throw. I have a 2-0 shield, a 1-0 shield advantage, so it's looking pretty good right now. And they actually throw Ominous Wind and get the boost, but I'm able to take it out quite quickly. They swap into their own Melmetal, and I thought they were going to bait with a Rock Slide here. So, oh yeah. So I thought they were going to bait with Rock Slide, but I still shield anyways, and unfortunately it is the Rock Slide. And then they throw Superpower, and I throw the Surf, now that their defenses have lowered. And they just barely survive to get another Superpower, which is quite unfortunate. And then they quickly swap into their Dragonite, getting ahead on energy. So as long as I get into the Draco Meteor, I can win this game. But since both, I'm just gonna pause right here. As you can see before, both Dragonites are 15, 15, 15 IVs and are at 3,792 CP. And that means that in a CP tie, it's a 50-50 chance to who gets their move done first, because they both have the same attack. And so they won the CMP and unfortunately take out my Dragonite with Draco Meteor. However, well played by my opponent. Good game. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video or it helped you in any way, make sure to subscribe. Anyways, happy battling. Peace.